Welcome to our in-depth tutorial on credit derivatives. Today, we'll break down what they are, how they work, and why they are crucial in the financial world. Credit derivatives are financial instruments used to manage exposure to credit risk. They are contracts between two parties, where the value is derived from the credit risk on an underlying entity such as a corporation or government. There are different types of credit derivatives, with the most common being credit default swaps, CDS, total return swaps, TRS, and collateralized debt obligations, CDO. Let's break each of these down, starting with credit default swaps. A credit default swap, or CDS, is essentially an insurance policy against the default of a borrower. The buyer of the CDS makes periodic payments to the seller, and in return, receives a payoff if the borrower defaults. For example, let's consider a bank that has lent $100 million to a corporation. To protect itself against the risk of the corporation defaulting, the bank buys a CDS from an insurance company, paying an annual premium of 1% of the loan amount. In case of default, the insurance company would cover the losses. A total return swap, or TRS, is a contract in which one party makes payments based on a set rate, while the other party makes payments based on the total return of an underlying asset, including both income and capital gains. As an example, consider a hedge fund that wants to gain exposure to a corporate bond without actually owning it. The hedge fund enters into a TRS with a bank. The bank pays the hedge fund interest on the bond plus any depreciation in value, while the hedge fund pays the bank a floating rate in return. Collateralized debt obligations, or CDOs, pool together different loans and then slice this pool into tranches with varying levels of risk and return. These tranches are then sold to investors. Imagine a financial institution gathers hundreds of individual loans such as mortgages, auto loans, or credit card debt, and bundles them into a single CDO. This bundle is then divided into tranches, often categorized by risk from senior to equity tranches, and sold to investors. Now, let's see some real-world data. We'll look at the growth of the credit derivatives market over the years. Here we see a graph of the total notional amounts of credit derivatives outstanding in billions of USD from 2001 to 2021. We can see from this data that the market for credit derivatives expanded rapidly in the early 2000s, peaking just before the financial crisis of 2008. After the crisis, the market size decreased but stabilized. All right, time for a quick Q&A to test your understanding. Question 1. What is a credit default swap? Answer. A credit default swap, CDS, is a financial agreement where the seller compensates the buyer in the event of a loan default or another credit event. Question 2. How does a total return swap work? Answer. In a total return swap, TRS, one party makes payments based on a set rate, while the other party makes payments based on the total return of an underlying asset, including both income and capital gains. Question 3. What is the primary purpose of collateralized debt obligations? Answer. The primary purpose of a collateralized debt obligation, CDO, is to pool together various loans and then divide this pool into tranches with different levels of risk and return, which are then sold to investors. Now that we have a strong understanding of credit derivatives and their types, let's discuss their impact and role in the financial world. Credit derivatives play a critical role in modern finance by allowing institutions to transfer credit risk, thus enabling them to achieve better risk management. These instruments can also enhance liquidity in lending and borrowing markets. For instance, a bank that wants to improve its capital ratios might use credit derivatives to transfer some of its credit risk to other financial institutions. By doing this, the bank can free up capital, making it available for new investments or loans. However, the misuse or excessive use of credit derivatives can also lead to significant financial instability. The 2008 financial crisis is a stark reminder of the potential risks associated with these instruments. During the crisis, many financial institutions faced huge losses due to their exposure to CDOs and CDSs linked to subprime mortgages. This graph shows the estimated losses from derivatives during the financial crisis. highlighting the impact these instruments can have. Despite the risks, credit derivatives remain an essential tool for risk management in the financial sector. And with improved regulatory oversight, their use can be safer and more effective. To wrap up, remember that while credit derivatives can offer substantial benefits, understanding the underlying risks and ensuring proper management is essential. Thank you for watching. We hope this tutorial has given you a solid foundation in understanding credit derivatives. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth financial tutorials.